We are a flourishing, vibrant, and radically welcoming congregation which promotes diversity, inclusion, and social justice. We provide a safe haven for creative intellectual growth, spiritual development, and a deep sense of community for all who join us. We hope that our liberal religious values will inspire you to join us as a community that lives boldly and acts justly. A couple of announcements for this Sunday. Directly after the service, we're going to have a service project of sorting clothes for the Compassion Closet. And we'll also have lunch provided. If you'd like to make a donation, that's welcomed. Even if you can't, please stay for a few minutes, and we'd love to have your assistance and help us with this project. We work on this every few months, and it's something that we really support in our community. Reverend Amy is offering a UU 101 Zoom class this Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. for people interested in possible church membership. So please let her know if you'd like to attend. For all other important information about our vibrant community, see our order of service, or if you're on our email list, you can check our monthly newsletter and weekly announcements. Whatever brought you to this place at this hour, we welcome you. May you find something you need, and may you leave richer in spirit than when you arrived.
Spark of the Spirit, cupped in earth's embrace. Light of love alive in all creation. As we kindle this flame, we rekindle our connection to the sacred web of life. I invite you now to please join me in singing the words to lighting our chalice, the symbol of our faith. I invite you now to please rise in body or spirit for our call to worship found in your bulletin. Let us join together as we proclaim these words for our opening of worship. As surely as we belong to the universe, we belong together. We join here to transcend the isolated self, to reconnect, to know ourselves to be at home here on earth, under the stars, linked with each other. Our opening hymn is found in our great hymnal, number 347, Gather the Spirit. Please be seated. I'd invite any little ones to come join me up front. Good morning. How are y'all doing today? Good. We might. No, okay. A couple are thinking about it. Maybe so. So, are y'all having a good day today? Yes. Well, I'm glad to hear that. And it's okay if you're not having a good day. We also all have days that are not so great. But glad y'all are here. Because one of my favorite things about Sundays is we get to all come to be together in this wonderful space, right? So I have a book I want to share with you, and it's about how it takes a lot of people to really help make things wonderful. And it's set in Hawaii. Any of y'all heard of Hawaii? Maybe. That's right. Yeah, I want to go too. So one day. Yeah. So, well, it's this beautiful place way off, far away from here, out in the middle of an ocean. So this story is about it. And thank you. Called Ohano Means Family. Y'all see this? Okay. Ohano Means Family. And it is by Elaine Loomis and illustrated by Kennard Pack. So, all right, this is the poi for our Ohana's luau. Y'all see, the poi is a dish here. It's something that people love to eat in Hawaii. So it's just one dish. How many people do you think it took to make this one dish? 10. Well, you know, you are in the ballpark there. We're going to talk about how many people and how much it took to make the poi. Now, this is the kalo to make the poi. It's this kind of plant. I don't know if it's a fruit or vegetable, y'all. I have no idea. Okay, so it's this almost like a little bit of a coconut here. And so we see we've got one person who's cutting this open to get all the stuff outside of it, from the outside from the inside of the shell. This is the mud that grows the kalo to make the poi. All right, so we need mud. You got to have a person to get the kalo, but you got to have mud for it to grow in. And this is the water, clear and cold, that covers the mud that grows the kalo to make the poi. So there's a bunch of people here, about 10, don't you think? Yeah, who are going out because they need that water and that mud. These are the hands, so wise and old, that reach through the water, clear and cold, into the mud to pick the kalo to make our poi. So here people are harvesting it. This is the land that's never been sold, where work the hands, so wise and old, that reach through the water, clear and cold, into the mud to pick the kalo. So we have a lot of people here who are picking all these wonderful little things that can make good food to eat. And you see here's lots more people. All right. These pages are a little stuck together. Okay. And then this is the rain that causes the mud which the kalo can grow in. And then after rain, we need some sunshine too, don't we? Well, apparently my hands don't want to pull apart pages today. Okay. And here you can see this beautiful land. It's had rain and sunshine, and it's growing the wonderful kalo. That's right. Here's the island where it grows. And here everyone is picking it. And then after they pick it, here is one little hand holding one plant there, or the kalo. And then here they're having a big luau where everyone is getting ready to eat. All these people have helped make the luau, helped make the kalo. So how many people do you see here? You can take a guess. You don't have to count exactly. 4? Yeah. 4 or 5? You are so smart.
10-ish or 20-ish.
Yes, 10 or 20-ish. There's a lot of people here. And the idea is we just have one little plant, this little brown ball here. But to have the big meal, it takes so many people, all sorts of people, to help the kalo to grow, and then to harvest it, and then to cook it. But it also takes the earth. It takes the sun and the rain and the mud and everything together. So that one little dish took a whole lot of people in all of creation.
And they all get to eat.
And they all get to eat it. Yes, everyone gets to share it together. So the thing that I think it's important for us to remember with this is that we are always connected to other people, and sometimes in ways we can't see. Now, do y'all have a favorite food to eat? Lots. Sushi. Salad. Oh, I'm glad you like salad. Yeah, there are lots of good foods to eat. And there takes a lot of people to make the food who are going to help grow the ingredients we need. Yes, honey.
I know how it goes. First, the farmer has to make the food for it. Then somebody has to package it up to send it to the grocery store. The grocery store has to sell it, and then the people at home have to make something with it.
You are exactly right, and you said it far better than I could have. Yes, you know about how the whole thing works. Very, very good. So, yeah, takes so many different people for us to have one thing to eat. So every time that we're having some food, or maybe we have a new piece of clothing or something like that, let's think about all the people who help make those things happen. So, all right, well, thank you for being up here with me today. I enjoyed talking with you, and we are going to sing y'all out now. So. I love to hear young ones understand how the whole food supply chain works. I think that is amazing. So, we enter now into our time for ritual and sacred sharing, where we share our joys and our sorrows, our concerns and milestones. So this week we light a candle for Frank as he continues to recover from hip replacement, and so glad to see you again. So. For Neil, as he also continues to recover from his rotator cuff surgery. For Meredith and Don, Meredith has been having some health issues with her foot and leg, and Don is dealing with cataract surgery. They're getting both the eyes done at different points. We light a candle of celebration for Sandra with her birthday tomorrow. Yes, oh, now, another candle of celebration for Gail and Joe, who are having an anniversary weekend. So, we light a candle for the ongoing struggle for civil rights in Iran, for all who are suffering in Gaza, and that necessary aid will be available for them. For all areas of violence around the world, especially Haiti, the Sudan, and the war in Ukraine. For peace and justice to emerge and hostilities to cease with the various locations in the Middle East. Now, at this time, you are invited to come forward as you would like to do so. I invite you to come forward along the far wall, and you may fill out a prayer card and place it on the prayer wall. You may light your own candle of joy or concern, or place a stone in our shared water. We will now go into a time of quiet rest or meditation or prayer after we hear the sound of the singing bowl. And during this time of silence, I invite you to simply settle into your seat and to deepen your breath. And as you slowly and deeply breathe in and out, to be aware that your breath and your breathing is connected with everyone who surrounds you. Whether you are here in person or whether you are watching online, to know that your breath is connected as we are all connected by the Spirit.
This morning's wisdom reading was written by the Archbishop Desmond Tutu, and it's entitled Living Ubuntu. Once upon a time, there was an anthropologist studying the habits and customs of an African tribe. He generally found himself surrounded by children most of the time, so he decided he would play a little game with them. He found some candy in the nearest town and put it in a very pretty basket at the foot of a tree. He called all the children and invited them to play. He told them he would say, "Go," and the children should race to the tree, and the first one there would win all the candy. So the children lined up, waiting for the signal. When the anthropologist said, "Go," all the children joined hands and ran together to the tree. They arrived together, they shared the candy, and enjoyed eating it together. The anthropologist asked them, well, why had they run together when one of them could have gotten to the tree first and had all the candy? And the children answered, Ubuntu. How can any one of us be happy when one of us is sad? One of the sayings in our country is Ubuntu, the essence of being human. Ubuntu speaks particularly about the fact that you can't exist as a human being in isolation. It speaks about our interconnectedness. You can't be a human all by yourself. And when you have this quality, Ubuntu, you are known for your generosity. We think of ourselves far too frequently as just individuals, separated from one another, whereas you are all connected, and what you do affects the whole world. When you do well, it spreads out. It is for the whole of humanity.
The person with the most toys when he dies wins. You need to work 80 to 90 hours a week to be successful. Words from Elon Musk. Just stop buying that Starbucks coffee and you'll have enough money for a house. Lots of people on the internet who give financial advice. So, show me a winner and I'll show you a sore loser. A Pinterest quote. And a quote from the great North Carolina movie Talladega Nights. If you're not first, you're last. That's just a very small selection of quotes about being a winner or being a loser. Our society has so much to say about being a winner and being a loser. People equate success with winning, however they might define that. And our society encourages people to be winners. Losing is bad. So what does it mean to be a winner in this culture? It means being on top, having lots of stuff, more stuff than your neighbors. It means being envied by others. It means that someone believes winning is all thanks to their own work and merit and worth, and not because of any assistance or support they've received along the way. Now, when I hear words of advice from so many privileged people who think of themselves as winners, people who started on third base but think they hit a home run all by themselves, I can't help but think of that passage from the New Testament. The first shall be last, and the last shall be first. Now, our wisdom reading today provides a radically different message from our society about what winning is. It is not an individual effort, but a collective effort. Living Ubuntu is a way of life that understands the deep connection we have with all of humanity, the connection we have with every single other person, and with all of creation. We are so deeply dependent on each other that we either all win or we all lose. Now, that's not an easy concept in a society embedded with rampant individualism. When we live in a society with the myth that we can pull ourselves up by our own bootstraps, we can't imagine we are going to lose if someone else is really a loser. It's an insidious dichotomy. People are either winners or losers. And our society tells us from our earliest messages that we should want to be the ones on top. But living Ubuntu and our own principles as UUs tell us that we either all fall down together or we all stand strong together. It's really just one big interdependent circle, not two different stacks of humanity. Now, the word Ubuntu is from the Zulu and Shola languages in South Africa and roughly translates humanity towards others, or generosity. If we live Ubuntu, we can never see someone else as a loser. We only see another part of ourselves when we look at other people. So what are some ways that we can practice living Ubuntu in our world? I think the first thing we can do is to be careful with our language. Someone might lose a sporting event or miss out on a job opportunity, but it does not make them a loser. It's not a noun. We can be thoughtful about how we use the words winning and losing, to where it's perhaps an action. Someone lost this job that they wanted, or did not win whatever sporting event or any other thing we might think of losing or not obtaining. But it doesn't mean that individual as a noun is either a winner or a loser. So let's be mindful of how we use that language in our day-to-day conversations. So firstly, we can be careful with our language. Secondly, we can see the humanity in others. We actively look for the divine light in each and every person. Now, I know it's easy for me to stand up here and say this, and I also know it's not easy to do this, especially if it's an individual we see who has harmed us or is actively harming others. The divine light within that person may be shuttered so tightly that it's almost impossible for us to see. But it's still there. It's our responsibility to acknowledge that presence of divine light in the other, even when we don't see it, especially when we don't see it. Seeing the humanity in others says a lot more about us than it does the other person we're viewing. So we live Ubuntu by being careful with our language, seeing the humanity in others, and thirdly, working towards creating a more just and equitable world. Now we're doing this here as we do, well, it's not Fifth Sunday, but that was Easter this time. So normally on Fifth Sundays we have service project after our worship service with the Compassion Closet. But we also do this, we work towards creating a more just and equitable world in so many multitude of ways. Our social action team is leading us in so many ways, big and small, that we are creating a world that's better. I encourage each one of us to keep our eyes and ears open for opportunities, how we can create a more just and equitable world. We live Ubuntu by being careful with our language, looking for and seeing the humanity in others, working towards creating a more just and equitable world, and lastly, by being generous. Now, each one of us here, we all have blessings in our own lives that we can share with others. Now, the blessings might be financial, or it might also be blessings of time or talents. Each one of us has gifts, ways that we can share with other people. Share here in our church, share in our communities, share with our family and loved ones. Living with a generous spirit, approaching each day with a generous spirit, is at the heart of living Ubuntu. Generosity is a way of approaching the world, not just an act that we undertake on occasion. One thing we can do to help approach the world, approach our lives with generosity, is each morning when we wake up, and I know that many people have some kind of ritual when they wake up in the morning, but perhaps just saying the words, "Let me live with a generous spirit today." Reminding ourselves that's how we want to approach each day and approach the world around us. So for this week, I invite you to remember these 4 ways that we can live Ubuntu. Being careful with our language about winning and losing, actively looking for and seeing the humanity in others, actively working towards creating a more just and equitable world, and approaching our lives and our day-to-day actions with a spirit of generosity. Now today I invite us to give thanks for those who have seen the humanity in us and who have reached out to us with generous spirits. Let's give thanks for this generous church community that we share this morning. And let's give thanks for the opportunity to live with generous spirits towards each other, to live Ubuntu. May it be so. Blessed be. Amen.
And now let there be an offering to sustain and strengthen this place, which is so sacred to so many of us, a community of memory and of hope, for we now are the keepers of the dream. This month, we're sharing our offering plate with Happy Roots. Happy Roots in Rowan County is a local 501c3 nonprofit that provides nature-based therapeutic and educational services to enhance the wellness of the community and the environment. We ask that you place your gift in the baskets as they make their way around the room, and you are always welcome to give online at puuc.org or by texting PUUC at the number 73256. Today's offering will now be greatly received. We give thanks for the great generosity that you show throughout each and every action, and for your generous spirits. I invite us now to please rise and body your spirit for our closing hymn found in our Teal hymnal, number 1052, The Oneness of Everything.
before we extinguish our chalice, I offer thanks for all the many volunteers who helped make our service possible this morning. We also ask before you leave today to please place your hymnals back on the cart near the piano. And before we have a time of thanks, I just want to remind you we have this wonderful opportunity for our service project following the service. And so if you only have a few minutes, please invite you to stay. It's easy to do. It's just sorting clothes. And I know that Becky, who founded, directs this wonderful compassion closet, will certainly appreciate getting everything out of her van, because she always brings a huge van load, and I'm always so impressed. It's like a clown car. I don't know how you get everything in there. So before we conclude today, let's take a moment to continue in that spirit of generosity and sacred time to give thanks. To give thanks either in our hearts or with words for the things for which we are grateful today. Yes, Cassette's dad, 86th birthday this week.
For the helpers.
For all the helpers, yes.
For each other.
For each other.
For the birds.
For the birds.
And the trees.
And the trees.
Years of friendship with Sandra.
Oh, years of friendship with Sandra, yes. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. So.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, we're gonna do it. Yes. So with thankful hearts, let us go forth now, connected by strings we cannot see, knowing that the connections we have make us stronger. Let us go forth as one, sharing in the joy of life together. We now extinguish our chalice, but we carry its light, its warmth, and its meaning with us until we meet again. May we go in peace, believe in peace, create peace wherever we wander. May it be so. Now for our closing song, we make a circle, and you may hold hands if you would like. You may also simply stand and place your hands on your heart.